So today I'm going to talk about some that I could care less about, at least for myself, but I know somewhere out there is a soldier trying to fight his or her way out of it. It is being bullied. Now, I have been bullied before, and for a little while there, I have flipped to the dark side and became a bully, but that was back in elementary school, and now I'm a free man. I hope Moist Critical can forgive me on copying his style of video making. At least his whole old ways where he would talk about random things as he would have gameplay in the background of his videos, because I don't feel like adding in multiple random clips and images YouTubers like Grimmy do. I will still make those rant videos from time to time, but I want to get this video out today. So anyways, in short summary, I've been bullied. Most of it happened in elementary and middle school, but I'll still get somewhat teased from time to time. And I could give less of a damn now than I did back then. One thing that my bullies used to do every time is that they would call me a bunch of slurs, which isn't anything new, but I must have missed out, and thankfully I did, on the N-word update, because these kids, who are white by the way, not Mexican, and not remotely part black, just white or part white, part Asian, are spamming the N-word more than an Edgar. And the thing is, I ain't black either. Here's photo proof. I'm part white and part Asian. Yeah, I might have like a tiny black dot on my skin, but that doesn't make me black. So these white kids are basically calling another white kid the N-word. Brother, what kind of reverse psychology happened over the span of 200 years to have this happen? The other day, I was heading on the bus, and since I got on at the last minute, the whole bus was more packed than Bonnie Blue's body count. So I had to walk to the back of the bus since the only available spots were there, and these middle school kids, that, keep in mind, I've never met in my life before, started acting like I was Forrest Gump trying to get on the bus. They've said stuff like, "Ew, get this stinky ass N-word out of here," and "Ew, I ain't letting this weirdo shoe touch me." Which is already crazy enough because, like I said, I've never met them before, and this was my first time seeing them. What a way to make your presence known to a careless sophomore by calling him the N-word, even when you're not remotely black. And it's not like I go on this bus often to do the weirdest and cringiest nonsense that not even the bendy kid would want to sit with me. I only go on this bus like once a week because one of my siblings has therapy, and his once a week therapy sessions is in a different city, so that I would have to take the bus ride home. Plus, I'm a type of guy who puts in both earbuds and either doom scrolls TikTok or listens to Spotify while staring out the window. Anyway, so there isn't really anything that I could have done that would make these kids think I'm weird, but I guess that didn't stop them from saying stuff that even they couldn't say. When it was time for me to get off on my bus stop, even though I had both earbuds in, I could still hear everything around me because they weren't noise cancelling earbuds, so I can still hear everything what they were saying. And yeah, even for small middle schoolers who would easily be in a fist fight if they challenged me to throw hands with, what they tried to say to me was even more crazier, and I am shocked that their parents haven't spawned in on that bus the moment they said that and spanked them with the belt. I don't know what they said exactly, but I remember it being something like,
"Get the FK off this bus, you stank ASS N-word."
And he said that with the hardest R anyone's ever said. That N-word was so loud that my next door neighbor, who also goes to the same bus as me, had told him to shut up. I wouldn't be surprised if that N-word was so loud to the point where every black guy and girl over the US heard that. Even Tupac and the Notorious Big probably heard that N-word when they were meeting up with Abraham Lincoln and Elvis Presley. And keep in mind, this was a white country boy middle schooler who said this to me. To me! And I'm not even black nor remotely black. I'm part white, part Asian. But no matter if every Asian person, no matter if they're Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Filipino, and any other Asian variant who could tell that a white person and an Asian person did a fusion dance and created me, this country boy white kid decided that it was a great idea to yell the hardest R N-word at me. I know I don't care about being bullied and why I still don't. That adds another reason to my thousands of reasons on why I want to drive my own car instead of taking the bus. But I'm still sadly stuck with a learner's permit for now, so it's more months of this kid calling me the N-word until I can finally drive myself. And if you thought that this was already crazy enough, this wasn't my first time being called the N-word by a white person. I've been called the N-word by a group of wannabe gangsters, none of which were black nor remotely Mexican. One of these kids genuinely looked like Dustin from Stranger Things and his girlfriend if they had gotten married and had a kid together. He seriously looked like Dustin was his father. This kid had curly hair. His face kind of looks like Dustin. But this kid wasn't a nerd who played Dungeons and Dragons. Instead, this kid chooses to be a wannabe gangster despite literally being the wannabe kid stereotype who lives in the gated community. This Dustin-like kid was the stupidest wannabe gangster alive. Not even Eazy-E and Ice Cube would want to talk to this kid due to how annoying he was. As of now, I'm assuming he either dropped out of high school or is taking online courses, but I think for sure he dropped out because why wouldn't any wannabe gangster drop out because they think they're too smart for school? But back in middle school, where my social awareness was slowly growing and I felt insecure about everything, I felt like those characters in kids' movies with those villains that everyone is apparently afraid of. When that Dustin lookalike wannabe thug always comes to my 4th period math class during the 8th grade. I don't know what it was during middle school for me that just spawned these mean and insecure bullies. Maybe because it was just me being super invested into the show Bluey back then and probably preaching about it. Wouldn't be surprised if I was, and probably because of that they thought I was cringe. But looking back, they just gotta love out their game instead of calling me the N-word, because imagine calling a random person in public the N-word because they watched an episode of Bluey. I don't know, but regardless, I just care less about whatever they do now, and I just choose to focus on what I'm doing. If anyone here is watching this video and you're currently experiencing being bullied, I'm going to be completely honest when I say this. Stop giving a shit about them. Don't waste your time, not even a single millisecond, paying any attention to your bullies. They are just people who haven't gotten a taste of adulthood yet. They think they can get away with bullying you simply because, simply put it, they want your reaction. It's basically like Pennywise, but only they don't kill their victims by feeding them their fears. They don't even kill their victims, hopefully. Instead, they feed on insecurities and lack of social awareness, because simply put it, they want to feel better about themselves. If your bullying situation is any different than what I just said, then just don't give them any of your attention. It's not worth it. Don't feed them your attention. I don't know much about the bullying world other than my own experiences with it, and from what others have said about it. We are all fighting our own battles, but there's always light at the end of each battle. So just keep going, soldier. It'll keep getting better for you at the end. And speaking of soldiers, happy Veterans Day. Hopefully you had a great day or night, and as always, peace!